beautiful butterfly. It's a Canadian tiger swallowtail, and I get so happy when I see a Canadian tiger swallowtail. It's the biggest, most beautiful butterfly in my part of the world. Now, if I was a birder, and if I was birding, and if that was a bird, I would probably report this sighting to eBird, the great citizen science and online database project that's coordinated by Cornell University. But since it's a butterfly, I get to report it to eButterfly, eBird's little buggy cousin. Now, I don't know about you, but I keep track of my butterfly field notes, and I've been doing it for the last 40 years. But I have to admit, it's a heck of a lot easier to put your records into eButterfly, and it's a good idea. I mean, it's good for you as a naturalist, but you also get to share your records, and they can be used to document butterfly ranges, changes in butterfly ranges, or maybe those ranges are remaining stable. You can also use those records to document butterfly migration and to look at the seasonal timing of butterfly emergence, butterfly phenology. The other great thing is that eBird has been very generous in helping eButterfly, and as a result, eButterfly now has a much easier interface. If you've used eButterfly in the past, you'll be delighted with how easy it is now. But while you are still in the field, there are a few things you want to make note of. You want to keep track of what butterflies you saw and how many of each different species. And of course, if you don't know what the species are, well, then hopefully you took some photographs. You also need to know where you are. I know where I am. I'm in the Devonian Botanic Gardens of the University of Alberta near the town of Devon in Alberta, Canada. Beautiful place. I have to know the date, June the 6th, 2014. And I need to know my own name, John Acorn. We're good. At this point, I can go back and enter this record in the computer into eButterfly. Okay, well, the first thing we're going to do is open a browser, and the type of browser matters. There will be problems if you don't use a nice updated browser. I use Firefox, and eButterfly's homepage will tell you which browsers work best. I've got eButterfly bookmarked, and I should also say, I shouldn't have said it's eBird's little buggy cousin. I didn't mean to indicate that it was, buggy in a computer sense. It's just buggy in the sense that butterflies are insects. I think you'll find it maybe a little quirkier than eBird, but that's part of its charm. In any event, the first thing you do is sign in. It's very easy to set up a password and username, and I've got my browser remembers mine, so I'll just sign in here. And it's so exciting that my computer is heating up and the fan is turned on. Okay, what do I want to do? I want to submit observations. And this is a very simple three-part process, three-step process. Step one, where did I go butterflying? Well, I could select from my locations if I had been there before, but I haven't. If I had taken a GPS reading, I could enter those numbers, but it's easier with a location like this to just find it on a map. Now I could either take that map and try to zoom in and locate it, which would be fun, but because this is I was at a facility that has an address, I'll just enter its name. Look at that, there's exactly where I was. It automatically enters the lat and long, and I'll just press next, and I'm on to step two. How easy is that? Step two, when did you go butterflying? Well, it's a little more complicated than that. First of all, we have to determine what observation type I am going to report. Was it a traveling survey, like a pollard walk, where I walked a certain distance and record recorded all the butterflies I saw? No. Was it an area survey where I looked for all the butterflies within a particular area? No. This was incidental observations made during the recording of this tutorial. The date, well, as you can see, I am entering this record the day after. So there you go, June the 6th, 2014, start time. Julie, my volunteer helper, and I arrived at 10:30 and we left at about 3:30 in the afternoon, but I'm using the 24-hour clock. The party size of Julie and myself was 2. Do I have any remarks? Not particularly. I'm just going to continue on to step 3. Look at how easy this is so far. Now, for the species that I saw, I could just enter the species name and it would automatically find them. But you know what? You can also just scroll down and find them. The families are arranged, the 5 main families are arranged alphabetically, beginning with Hesperiidae, the skippers, and then within each family the species are arranged alphabetically. So we'll just skip over the skippers because we didn't see any skippers. Lycaenidae, the family that includes the blues, coppers, and hair streaks. I did, in fact, enjoy the sight of 3 silvery blues, Glaucopsyche lagdamus. It wasn't a particularly butterfly-ish day. It was a bit cool out at the garden, and the season hasn't really kicked into gear. Oh, by the way, we're now in the Nymphalidae, the brush-footed butterflies, and there were 2 common alpines. Do I want to add details and photos? No. I'm just simply going to report those in a straightforward fashion. Move on to the Papilionidae, which is, of course, the swallowtail family. There were 10 Canadian tiger swallowtails. Did I see anything else? Any whites? No. So let's do just the Canadian tiger swallowtails, and I am going to add a photo. So you click that Add Details and Photos. You can review the type of sighting it is. My confidence is high that I did indeed identify it correctly. The life stage was adult as opposed to caterpillar or egg or pupa. The basis of the record was sight indeed, but also I have a photograph. And the data usage public. If there'd been some private land issue or some super rare species that I didn't want anyone else to see for some reason, I might mark it one or the other. But I like my data to remain public. There's no point in adding any subspecies details, but I will add a photo, and I've already cropped and resized a photo from that sighting. The maximum size is about 5 megabytes, but eButterfly will resize your images to about 1 meg, so there's no point in giving it too huge an image. So that's easy enough. Binga, banga, banga. Then I just go over here to the very important this field is required. Am I submitting a checklist of all the butterflies I observed at this location, date, and time? Yes. Yes, that's the long and the short of it. And then I get to press the green button that says finish. And when you press finish, you are finished. I could do other things, but you know what? Right now, I'm just going to sign out. And that's all there is to it. You've entered your records. You can go back and explore your data later. Other people can make use of your observations. You can just walk away and forget about it, or, I don't know, maybe you have some little ritual that you like to engage in at the end of a nice butterfly outing. To commemorate this outing, I'm going to ring this giant Japanese ceremonial friendship bell. To our friendship.